So how many planets in the universe? How many universes of we know about? One universe. हमें तो अभी तक एक यूनिवर्स के बारे में ही पता है ना. उस यूनिवर्स में कितने प्लैनेट्स हैं? हाँ, कितने प्लैनेट्स अभी तक नासा ने ढूंढे हैं? हाँ, 8. ठीक है. हाँ हाँ, वैसे हम नासा ने 8 ढूंढे. चलो, हम किस में रहते हैं? अर्थ में कितने कॉन्टिनेंट्स है? 7 कॉन्टिनेंट्स में कितनी कंट्रीज है? 186 कंट्रीज. 211 कंट्रीज है. ओके, 211 कंट्रीज में हम कौन सी कंट्री में रहते हैं? इंडिया. इंडिया में कितने स्टेट्स है? हाँ, 28 स्टेट्स है. ओके, 28 स्टेट्स में हम कौन से स्टेट में रहते हैं? महाराष्ट्र में कितनी सिटीज है? हाँ, 35 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. इस 35 डिस्ट्रिक्ट से 35 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में हम कौन से डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रहते हैं? हाँ, मुंबई सबब में रहते हैं. मुंबई का आबादी कितनी है? 2.26, 2.5 करोड़ लोग. उसमें से हम कहाँ रहते हैं? समझ, अंधेरी में रहते हैं. और अंधेरी में हम एक निताई जीवन, एक वीर, एक पीयूष, एक गौरव. और हम क्या समझते हैं? मैं दुनिया. So this is our state. We think that we are something very, very special, or we are something great. We have this pride, no? But this is our situation. If you look at from ये तो क्या एक यूनिवर्स है. ये यूनिवर्स, एक यूनिवर्स इज जस्ट लाइक, ये देखो कितने यूनिवर्सेस हैं. Innumerable universes. From this Vishnu, as much as he breathes and he exhales from his pores, innumerable universes coming out. And amongst those innumerable universes, there's one universe that you mentioned. Amongst those one universe, there are so many planets. Planets means there is one planet. One planet means there are so many continents. Continent means countries. Countries means one country. One country means states, districts, cities, and in that we are staying. That is our position. That is our position. So when we think that we are something great and we have a big pride about it, we are actually very minute. We are actually very minute from a picture of Brahma or Lord Krishna. Very, very minute. So the Krishna was saying, मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ ये? Because Krishna is saying सर्वलोक महेश्वरम. सारे लोकों का महेश्वर मैं हूँ. महाईश्वर. Maheshwaram. Mahaishwar. Ishwar means controller. Maha means great. Supreme controller. I am the supreme controller. Nobody else is the supreme controller. He's saying, I am the supreme controller. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the ever well-wisher. लोग कहता है ना, your well-wisher. आपका शुभ चिंतक. कृष्ण सिंह सबका सूर्यदम मैं ही हूँ, कोई और नहीं है. और ये जो चीज को जानता है, that person is very, very peaceful. Lasva mam shanti mrichati. He's saying he's very peaceful. So, and he supports the entire universe. Then we saw that how different acharyas also mentioned the Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead. The great Acharya Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they all confirm that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma is saying himself, yes, I get all the knowledge, and my father is Vishnu, from where Nadi Kamal I am born. And then Krishna's feet also has some unique markings on those, like for example, there's a mark of a kamal on the feet of Krishna. Kamal signifies that the kamal अब कहाँ दिखता है? कीचड़ में, but कमल के पत्ते पे कभी भी कीचड़ नहीं आता है. It stays in mud. So similarly, the devotees of Krishna can stay in a filthy place, but they are always pure. They are never contaminated. Similarly, there are different signs over here, and Brahma himself is saying that I have personally seen. He's saying, I have personally seen these markings on the feet of my father from whom I am born. Brahma is saying this in Padma Puran. And then I told you a story about Markandeya Rishi, how he was cursed, how he was given a boon to even, not die at the time of annihilation, and he saw the entire annihilation and the next creation. And we see about different varieties. You say, ग्रेड्स होते हैं ना वन पर्सनालिटी में भी, सारे हम कहते हैं ना CXO लेवल लोग होते हैं। CXO पता है? CXO वर्ड पता है? CXO means those people in the company who are at the management level. Somebody is a CMO, somebody is a CFO, somebody is a CEO. They are like different grades. Similarly, they have almost equal power, but they are slightly different. And similarly, almost equal power, but slightly different. And then Bhishma also mentions that yes, Krishna is supreme personality of God. And we spoke about as Krishna an avatar of Vishnu, or Vishnu's or who is Vishnu. So it just mentions very clearly. We spoke about different qualities that Krishna has and how Vishnu has four qualities which are lesser than Krishna. And which are those four qualities? One is Krishna is Leela Madhurya, the great pastimes that you see, different pastimes that you see. आज भी हम बात करते हैं, माखन चोर की बात करते हैं, या वस्त्र हरण की बात करते हैं, या गोवर्धन लीला की बात करते हैं, या गौचारण की लीला बात करते हैं, सारी वॉट एवर ग्रेट पास टाइम्स यू सी. जन्माष्टमी मनाते हैं हम, ऊपर चढ़ के मटकी फोड़ना, all these different things, होली की बात करते हैं. So these are all different pastimes which Krishna used to do, and we still do that. We actually replicate that. We're not supposed to replicate that, but we replicate that because Krishna's pastimes cannot be imitated. Can you go and steal butter in DMart? हाँ, सर मैं भी कृष्ण भक्त हूँ, तो कृष्ण माखन चुराते थे तो मैं भी माखन चुराने आया हूँ आपके DMart में. हाँ, अलाउड है? कृष्ण की कोई भी लीला आप रिपीट करेंगे ना, आपको लोग ये कर देंगे. Like for example, Krishna ran away from the battlefield. He's called as run चोर, जो रन को छोड़ के भाग गया. रन चोर. आप सेना में, आर्मी में जवान हो और आप रन छोड़ के भाग गए तो क्या करेंगे? They will insult you, right? But that is why Krishna says, my activities are divyam. Janma karma bhi is divyam. It's not like I do it and I get defaming. I don't become infamous. I become famous because my activities are not like that. What you think they are. But if you try to do that, you'll get फंस जाओगे. That is why we say over here, if you want to imitate the activities, you should imitate the activities of Lord Ram. Because Ram is Maryada Purushottam. His activities are ideal. His activities are ideal. Krishna is Leela Purushottam. You have to hear and relish the pastimes. So that is how it is. So, the first unique quality is Leela Purushottam. Second unique quality is that he is Bhakta Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, and Rupa Madhurya. Okay, beautiful. He's always youthful. Krishna's fixed age is 16. यहाँ पे कोई था ना last time 17 का? 17? 16? Anybody 16? 16 fix. इसलिए कृष्ण का एक नाम है किशोर. What does the word किशोर means? Young. He never grows old. Okay, so we made some conclusions. Okay. Hence, that is why that lesson was there in the beginning. So होता ना कभी कभार इस स्कीम में इन्वेस्ट करने के पहले सारे ऑफर रिलेटेड डॉक्यूमेंट्स ध्यान से पढ़ ले. होता ना डिस्क्लेमर. वैसे उसमें डिस्क्लेमर दिया था कि एटलीस्ट एक्सेप्ट कृष्णा एज सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉड, एंड देन सम फैक्ट्स वर गिवन दैट यू कैन, then your mind will, because sometimes our mind is very closed, it doesn't want to take any intake. So by making that first lesson, your mind at least open up, and then you take some knowledge, and then you can, okay fine, now this makes sense to me. Okay, this brings us to the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. What did we discuss in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita? Anybody remembers? We discussed some background, some background. What happened in the background? Duryodhan and Arjuna went to meet Krishna. And what did Krishna say? कि मैं किसके साथ लड़ूंगा? अर्जुन के साथ लड़ूंगा. किसके साथ लड़ूंगा? दुर्योधन के साथ लड़ूंगा. सेना देंगे तो दुर्योधन, कृष्ण क्या करेंगे? चैरिटी बनेंगे. तो कृष्ण ने कहा मैं नहीं लड़ूंगा. देखो तुम भी मेरे सगे वाले हो और तुम भी मेरे सगे वाले हो, इसमें मैं नहीं लड़ूंगा. मैं अपनी सेना दे दूंगा, तुम मेरी सेना लड़के लड़ो. But I am not going to fight. पर चांस किसको दिया पहले चूज करने के लिए? अर्जुन को. क्यों? अर्जुन अर्जुन को पहले देखा, अर्जुन, कृष्ण ने ये भी कहा कि अर्जुन छोटा है, एंड आई सॉ अर्जुन फर्स्ट, सो आई विल गिव अपॉर्चुनिटी टू अर्जुन. अर्जुन ने क्या चूज किया? कृष्ण को चूज किया. क्यों? हाँ, आपके बिना सेना का मैं क्या करूंगा? और why did Arjun choose Krishna? Huh? Yes, Arjun knew that Krishna is Supreme Lord. And I wanted, if Krishna is on my side, victory will be there on my side. So he had more faith in Krishna than right? In the army, in the material power. People outside sometimes we have more faith in material power. ना? पैसा है, गाड़ी है, बंगला है. If people feel that yes, this is powerful, but भगवान नहीं है. Similarly, Arjun ने कि नहीं, मुझे भगवान चाहिए. So how many chapters in the Bhagavad Gita? You came today? You generally come Sundays, huh? How many chapters in the Bhagavad Gita? 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, divided into 3 parts. Okay? 6, 6 and 6. So the first 6 chapters are like, they teach you how to work. कैसे आपको काम करना चाहिए. How you should perform work. That is what the first 6 chapters teach you. The next 6 chapters teach you who you should work for. For God. You should, because everything belongs to the Lord, no? Any of our grandfather, great grandfather has put the sun up in the sky? कोई है ऐसा? Sun and moon, आपके father ने कुछ किया है ऐसा? Sun moon लगाया ऊपर, या बादल के साथ अरेंजमेंट किया है कि एवरी, आप भाई शाम को 6 बजे आ जाना थोड़ी वर्षा करने के लिए, अगस्त, सितंबर, अक्टूबर में, या जुलाई, ऐसा कुछ अरेंजमेंट है? None of us have done that, right? या तो जैसे जो पेड़ पौधे, आप लोग में से कितने लोगों ने कभी पौधा भी लगाया है? पौधा लगाया, पानी दिया है, फिर उसको बोला भी भाई ऑक्सीजन बाहर निकालते रहो ताकि मैं सांस लेते रहो, ऐसा बोला है? और अपने बॉडी को भी कभी बताया भाई सांस लेते रहना वरना मर जाऊंगा? इट्स एन ऑटोमेटेड प्रोसेस, राइट? बहुत सारी चीजें प्रकृति के हिसाब से चलती है. तो प्रकृति किसके अंदर है? पुरुष के अंदर. पुरुष कौन है? स्वयं भगवान. प्रकृति इज फेमिनिन, राइट? Purush is male, works in that way. So then we should also work for the somebody who we are getting things for, जिससे हमें सब चीजें मिल रही है. जैसे हम अक्सर we feel grateful towards our parents, ना? Why we feel grateful towards our parents? Because the parents have given us so many facilities. मेरे को पढ़ाया, लिखाया, बड़ा किया और ये योग्य बनाया कि आज मैं उनके लिए कुछ कर सकूं, है ना? तो वैसे ही भगवान ने भी मनुष्य जीवन दिया, और ज्ञान दिया, सारी सुविधाएं दी, खाने पीने के लिए सब कुछ सुविधा दी. किसके लिए? ताकि मैं खुद ही एंजॉय कर सकूं. ऐसा बराबर है? नहीं, इट इज फॉर हिम, ताकि आई कैन गिव समथिंग बैक. So similarly, when you know how to work, you should know who you should work for. When you know how to work, you should know who you should work for. So Krishna, the Gita teaches you, yes, you work for Krishna. And how you can do that? कि काम तो करना है, but कैसे करूँ? I have to live in my society. I have to live in my relationship. मेरे पास सारे जो different relatives है, मेरी duties है that I have to do, and doing those things, how can I work for Krishna? Is taught in those last 6 chapters. Okay, this brings us to the first words of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, anybody has memorized this verse? किसी ने याद किया इसको? कोशिश की? भगवद गीता का पहला वर्स है. कोई पूछे आपको गीता पढ़ने आते हो, बताओ पहला वर्स क्या है ना? पूछ सकता है ना कोई? बोले कहाँ से आ रहे हो? पीयूष कहाँ से आ रहे हो? संडे भगवद गीता क्लास से आ रहा हूँ मैं. क्या पढ़ा? चैप्टर नंबर 1. पहला वर्स बताओ. नहीं आता है. सीख सकते हैं थोड़ा. इट्स नॉट वेरी, लेट्स ट्राई. धृतराष्ट्र ने पूरे 700 verses, 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra has spoken only one verse. Only one verse. Okay. You can decide after me. Dhritarashtra Vacha. धृतराष्ट्र वाचा मतलब धृतराष्ट्र ने कहा. धृतराष्ट्र वाचा धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सवा. So he's saying dharma kshetre and kurukshetre. Kurukshetra is the dharma kshetra. You know, जैसे आप जाओ हरिद्वार में, हरिद्वार भी एक धर्म स्थान है, होली प्लेस. आप जाओ द्वारका, होली प्लेस. जगन्नाथपुरी, होली प्लेस. यू से ना, नाथद्वारा जाओ, इट्स अ होली प्लेस. वैसे सो कुरुक्षेत्र भी इट्स अ होली प्लेस. सो धर्म क्षेत्रे, क्षेत्र मीन्स प्लेस, ओके, एंड कुरुक्षेत्र इज नेम. कुरुक्षेत्र क्यों बोलते हैं? बिकॉज कुरु ने यहाँ पे दे हैड डन एक्टिविटीज ओवर देयर, दैट्स व्हाई. सो धर्म क्षेत्र एंड कुरुक्षेत्र. समावेता युयुत्सव. समावेता मतलब दे हैव ऑल असेंबल्ड. समावेत में सब सारे लोग साथ में आए हैं. युयुत्सव किसके, क्या करने के लिए? लड़ने के लिए, युद्ध करने के लिए. मामका मेरे, पांडव शैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. ओके, you can decide after me. धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. Can one of you all also read? किसी को पढ़ना है, देख के पढ़ सकते हैं. Read and we will repeat. Yeah. धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. Somebody else? बोलिए. हाँ,
धर्म क्षेत्रे
कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. बोलो, हिंदी है क्या है? बोलिए, ट्राई कीजिए. धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. देखिए बिना, कोई ट्राई करेगा? फर्स्ट लाइन क्या था? धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेतायुयुत्सव. थर्ड लाइन मामका पांडवश्चैव. और कोई हाथ उपचार करके बोलिए, सब बीच में कोरस में मत बोलिए. देखिए बिना, कोई बोलेगा? इट्स अ नाइस इंटरैक्टिव ना, थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है. आपको एक वर्ड्स याद हो जाएगा. ट्राई, देयर इज नो हार्म. बोलिए, देखिए बिना. ये तो इसलिए तो स्क्रीन बन गया बना. आपको गलत होगा कोई बात नहीं, बोलिए ना. क्या पहला लाइन क्या है? धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे सामवेत युयुत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. और कोई बोलना चाहेगा? देखिए बिना. यू शुड ट्राई, प्लीज ट्राई. बोलिए बोलिए, पूरा बोल दीजिए. समावेत युयुत्सव पांडव किम अकुर्वत. ऑलमोस्ट कितना टाइम स्पेंड किया हमने? हार्डली 3-4 minutes. We could memorize one words. Very simple. You just break it in parts. धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र समावेता युत्सव धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेता युत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. ओके, कोरस में बोलेंगे एक साथ. हाँ, धृतराष्ट्र उवाच. You have to repeat after me. कोरस में बोलना है. धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समावेता युत्सव मामका पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत संजय. सिंपल. तो यहाँ से आप बाहर जाओगे तो ऐसा आगे बोलना नहीं है. फर्स्ट फर्स्ट बोल के दिखाओगे. कोई पूछेगा तो आप बोल सकते हैं ना, आई नो द भगवत, आई नो, आई कुछ पढ़ के आया हूँ. ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब ऐसे ही जाके बैठ के अटेंडेंस देके और जैसे आज का मेन्यू पास्ता है, पास्ता खा के आ गया, यू नो, ऐसा नहीं है. अंडरस्टैंड? So yeah, so this is the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita. It is, you know, Dhritarashtra, who was blind from birth, his assistant Sanjay is narrating the entire conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Sanjay is a disciple of Vyasdev. Yes, Sanjay is a disciple of Vyasdev. और उनको एक बूंद था कि he could do दूरदर्शन. यहाँ बैठे बैठे दूर के दर्शन दे सकते हैं. So they both are sitting in Hastinapur, but the battle is happening in Kurukshetra. दोनों अलग अलग जगह पे है. And he could give live telecast. So Dhritarashtra was very very desirous. Desirous of what? That the battle should happen. That hope these two people fight. Doubtful. Doubtful about what? Huh? क्यों? Why was he doubtful about that? Actually उसमें तो fear आना चाहिए. Doubtful क्यों था? एक मिनट, please let him speak. कौरव सरेंडर क्यों करेंगे? Please raise your hand. Please. Sorry? Krishna is in the opposite side. Okay, आप कुछ कह रहे थे? सौ थे. Okay. नलिफाई क्यों हो जाएगा? वही बता रहा हूँ. हाँ, दे आर ब्रदर्स. ओके, क्यों हो जाएगा समझौता? नलिफाई, समझौता, कॉम्प्रोमाइज सब एक ही चीज है. You see the first line, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. He was doubtful that the way Kurukshetra is a holy place, इस holy place का थोड़ा सा प्रभाव मेरे बेटों पे ना पड़े. This doesn't impact my sons, and they don't change their mind because they are fighting in a holy place. कुछ माँ बाप को डर होगा ना, मेरा बेटा अगर धार्मिक यात्रा में जाएगा तो क्या हो जाएगा? साधु संत बन जाएगा. We have that fear ना, इसलिए फिर बाद में भेजते नहीं. वृंदावन यात्रा, मम्मी बोल नहीं बेटा तो वृंदावन नहीं जाएगा बेटा. किसके यहाँ जा रहा है? इसका नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं जाएगा. पता ना क्यों? बिकॉज उन्होंने क्या प्रभाव हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे बैठे बैठे अच्छा खासा मूवी देखने आता है, यू नो, रोज पूरा दिन मोबाइल में यूट्यूब पे शॉर्ट्स देखने में लगा रहता है, इंस्टाग्राम रील्स बनाता है, पबजी खेलता है. वहां जाएगा तो ये सब बंद हो जाएगा और आने के बाद ये पूरा ही बदल जाएगा. You know, so there can be a doubt that if they go to a holy place, there will be a transformation. Similarly, Dhritarashtra was doubtful that because Kurukshetra is a holy place, this will impact my mindset of my sons also, and they may compromise. They may want to. They will come with a thoda sa. They will do some compromise and they will not fight. And he was fearful about that if they don't fight, then I'll have to leave my throne. That's why he was fearful that he had to leave. And he was also hopeful that hope it doesn't happen like that. So these are the reasons that he's asking this question. These are the reasons that he's asking. So last Saturday we discussed till here. Okay, we discussed till here. Right? Now we'll go ahead. Lesson number 2. Being on God's side is million times superior to one's own political diplomacy and material expertise. So this is covering verses from 1.1 to 26. That's the section that it covers. So being on God's side is million times superior to one's own political diplomacy and material expertise. So we'll go ahead. Who is in the picture? Duryodhan? Duryodhan is with whom? Dronacharya, okay, Drona, Duryodhana is Dronacharya, okay. So we can Duryodhana approached Dronacharya after seeing the army of the Pandavas and spoke the following words or verses. You can recite this after me. Pashyatyaam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamam Vidam Draupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata Pashyatyaam Panduputranam Vidam Drupada Pashyatyaam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamam Vidam Draupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So he's saying that he's going to Acharya, he's going to Dronacharya, and he's saying Pashatam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Cham Vidam Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. He's saying, see what your disciple, what your disciple, Tava Shishyena Dhimata. He's saying that what your disciple, Drupad Putrena, who was Drupad Putra? Any idea? द्रुपद का पुत्र कौन था? द्रुपद कौन था? द्रौपदी के पिताजी. That's quite easy to get. Yes, द्रौपदी के पिताजी द्रुपद. जानकी के पिताजी जनक. So जैसे कृष्ण का और एक नाम है वासुदेव. वसुदेव. So Drupad is the father of Draupadi, but Drupad का पुत्र कौन था? Anybody knows? Please raise a hand. Don't speak in chorus. द्रुपद पुत्रेना दृष्टद्युम्न. लिखा है? नहीं ना, लिखा है, मैं बोल रहा हूँ. So दृष्टद्युम्न द्रुपद पुत्र था, बट उसने किसका शिष्य था? He was the disciple of Dronacharya. He was the disciple. When the battle happened, Drishyadumna was on whose side? Pandava's side. Yeah. So what is the history? History is that so Dronacharya and Drupad, they both were childhood friends, and Drupad was a prince. He was a son of a prince, king tha. So son of a king, he was a prince, and Dronacharya was a Brahmana, poor Brahmana, but they were both good friends. They used to study together in the Gurukul. And बचपन में हम बहुत सारे promises करते हैं ना कि कभी भी कुछ भी चाहिए रहेगा मुझे याद कर देना, मैं मुझे help करूँगा. वैसे Drupad also promised that whatever you need, whenever you need any help, Dronacharya, you can always come to me. So Dronacharya always remembered that. And when he grew, when they grew big, जब बड़े हो गए, Dronacharya was still very poor. He was a poor Brahmana. Brahmanas would always live by begging. जो भी भिक्षा मिलता था वही उन लोग रखते थे. So his wife said कि तुम्हारा your friend is there ना, Drupad. Sorry, so you go and ask Drupad na, he'll give you at least one cow. Ask him for at least one cow. If we have one cow, then we can milk that cow and we can use the milk for our home use also and sell some. You give some milk products also out, and that's how we can maintain ourselves. So Dronacharya was little hopeful and he went and met his Drupad. Drupad insulted Dronacharya very badly. He said, I don't remember any such promises. And who are you? And I don't even remember you in my Gurukul days. So he insulted him, and Dronacharya felt very bad. So he made a resolution. But Dronacharya made a promise within himself that I will teach a lesson to Drupad. So when he trained these Pandavas and the Kauravas, as Guru Dakshina, he asked both of them, Pandavas and Kauravas, that you capture Drupad live. Drupad live. So they fought against the army of Drupad and they defeated the army of Drupad. And Drupad was brought live. Live मतलब जिंदा लेके आए थे उसको द्रोणाचार्य के सामने. And Drupad felt very insulted. मेरे को they were small, ना, पांडव और कौरव सब young थे. And Drupad was big. So Drupad also made a resolution. Okay, I will ask for a son who will kill Dronacharya, who will kill Dronacharya. So he did a yagya. In that yagya, both Draupadi and Dhishtyadumna were born. Dhishtyadumna was a son who was begetted, who came in that yagya, uh, who he asked that will be the son who will kill Dronacharya. But Drupad also sent Dhishtyadumna for training in military arts to Dronacharya. And Dronacharya knew that this son is born to Drupad. वो फ्यूचर में आके मुझे ही हार्म करेगा. But as a Brahmana, as a teacher, it was his duty to perform his teachings. So he instilled all the teachings to Dhishtyadumna. जैसे बाकी बच्चों को सिखाया वैसे उसको भी सिखाया. But when the battle took place, that time what happened, when the Kurukshetra का जब युद्ध हुआ, तब Dhishtyadumna took the side of Pandavas and he became the commander in chief with the Pandavas. तो on the day one of the army, उसने पूरा setting करके रखा था सब कुछ. तो द्रोणाचार्य is showing that to, sorry, दुर्योधन is showing that to द्रोणाचार्य right now कि देखो तब शिष्य न धीमता, तुम्हारे शिष्य जो है क्या किया उसने, तुमने ही उसको सब कुछ सिखाया है ना, अभी देखो वो सामने आके खड़ा है and this is what he has done. So he is making द्रोणाचार्य little bit of alert. तुमने you taught him everything and today he is now on the opposite side. Similarly, you have also taught everything to the Pandavas जो आपके favorite है, और उसमें से सबसे favorite है अर्जुन. So please be alert. So Duryodhana is showing Dronacharya that see, I want you to know what is happening, what is the reality. Okay, so please be alert. Don't have any soft-heartedness. We are here to fight. Who is there in these two photos? Bhim and Duryodhan. You can decide after me. Atra Sura Mahesh Asha Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi Yuddhano Viratascha Draupadascha Maharatha. Again, a very important verse. He's saying further, Duryodhana is saying, see this, everything Sanjay is narrating to Dhritarashtra. Okay, so this is Dhritarashtra Uvacha, uske baad Sanjay Uvacha aata hai, which is the second verse, and then comes this continuation verse 1.3, which is, so Sanjay is speaking all these verses. Okay, so he's saying Atra Sura Maheshashaja Bhima Arjuna Samayodhi Yuddhano Viratascha Draupadascha Maharatam. He's saying apart from these things, there are great fighters in their army, and he takes the name of Bhima first before Arjuna. So he's saying Atra Sura Mahesh Asha. There are great people who are also fighting in his army. First one being Bhima, and it doesn't take the name of Arjuna. Why? Why does he take the name of Bhima first? हाँ, वो तो है, पर क्यों भीमा का नाम लिया? हाँ, सूर्यदेव को नहीं, सारे कौरव को मारने के लिए. जब when Draupadi was insulted in the assembly, that time Duryodhana had tapped his thighs and he had said that Draupadi, you are mine now, please come and sit on my lap. So Bhima had said, Duryodhan, मैं तुम्हारा ये पैर, तुम्हारा शरीर चीर फाड़ दूंगा. And Dushashan ने जब, when he pulled the sari of Draupadi, so again Bhima had said कि Dushashan, you are a heartless person, such a chaste lady, you are insulting in an assembly, I will kill you. And he had said to the Pandavas later on, the rest of the 4 Pandavas, कि इन लोग सब लोग को मैं ही मारूंगा, ये मेरा कोटा है. ये मेरा कोटा है. ऐसा होता है ना, जब गेम्स खेलने आते हैं या क्रिकेट खेलने आते हैं तो उसमें ये कोटे का रन मेरा है, इतना 1-2 विकेट तो मैं ये मेरे को इसको तो मैं ही आउट करूंगा. ऐसा है. जैसे भैया ने बोला कि सारे 100 के 100 पारों को मैं ही मारूंगा. So Duryodhana was especially very fearful of Bhima than even Arjuna. That is why here he is taking the name of Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi. Yuddhano Viratascha Draupadascha Maharatha. And he speaks about Virata and Draupada. He's a great Maharatha. great fighters. There are some fighters who are on horses, some fighters who are on feet, some fighters who are on horse, some fighters on elephant. There are some fighters who can fight 1,000 soldiers, some fighters who can fight 1 lakh soldiers, some fighters who can fight 10 lakh soldiers. So there are different rathis are there. So reasons of Duryodhana's action, Duryodhana feared internally seeing the Pandavas' army. Duryodhana points out Dronacharya. Duryodhana wanted to anger Dronacharya. Duryodhana wanted to incite anger in Dronacharya. To see what you have done and don't be casual. Don't be soft-hearted. Don't be loose in your attempt to fight this battle. Okay. And then he mentioned some other names also. Dishtakenus, Chekitana, Kashirajas, Puryavan, Pujit Kunti Bojas, Saibis, Pungo. Like there are many other great fighters like Dishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraj, Purijit, Kunti Boja, Saibya. So these are little details about who they are. Who was Dishtaketu, who was Chekitana, who was Kashiraj, who was Purijit, who was Saibya. There's mentions about Dishtaketu was the son of Shishupal who fought on behalf of Pandavas. Shishupal was against Lord Krishna but not against the Pandavas. Dishtaketu was killed by Drona in a fierce battle. So these things are mentioned over there. He mentions all these people's names. Who is mentioning these names? Duryodhan. To whom? Dronacharya. And this is being narrated by whom? Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. Then he's saying, for your information, अभी थोड़ा अभी उसने demotivate कर दिया सुना सुना के तभी क्या थोड़ा अभी मोटिवेट करेगा सो अभी बोला कि अभी ये भी सुनो कि मेरे साइड पे कौन कौन है For your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains are especially qualified to lead my military force. मेरे साइड कौन कौन है And then he's taking whose name first? Bhavam. Bhavam means you. He's talking to Duryodhan. So he's talking to Dronacharya. He's saying Bhavam Bhishmascha Karnascha. Bhavam, Bhishma and Karna. He's taking the first name of द्रोणाचार्य वाई द्रोणाचार्य क्योंकि अभी तक क्या बोला किसको बोला उसने अभी तक ही स्पोक टू होम राइट नाउ द्रोणाचार्य बोला सी तुमने क्या किया दृष्टिदुम्न के साथ सी तुमने क्या किया भीमा अर्जुन के साथ सो ही वाज टेलिंग ऑल दिस वाइल थिंग्स टू द्रोणाचार्य so he's saying but there are great people on my side to lead army and the first one in that he's taking the name of Dronacharya then he's taking the name of Bhishma actually Bhishma is much more elder to Drona. But Drona is a Brahmana and Bhishma is a Kshatriya. So Kshatriya will not mind Brahmana being given more respect. And Drona wanted that respect also because all this while Drona was being, little bit, dejected. So he's saying Bhavam Bhishma. Karna to abhi tha hi nahi pehle din pe. He still took the name of Karna because Karna is a very important member of his army. Karna was not present at that time. But he's still taking the name of Karna. Kripa means Kripacharya. Okay, Bhavam Bhishmasya Karnasya Kripasya Samitinjaya. Ashwadhama, he takes the name of Ashwadhama also. Vikarna is one of the Kauravas. Okay, Vikarna was not a very powerful fighter, but he was the only one who objected the insult of Draupadi. When Draupadi was getting insulted, Vikarna raised his voice, you should not be doing this. So usko bhi thoda, नहीं बेटा आशीर्वाद नहीं मतलब थोड़ा बैक को स्क्रैच कर दिया कि नहीं ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट है so that is why he took the name of Vikarna also. See there are personalities like you Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwadhama, Vikarna and the son of Somdata called Burishwara who are always victorious in the battle. He's saying these people are there on my side. There are many other heroes who are prepared. Now he's speaking, Saraswati is always on your tongue when you speak, right? She is the one who gives you the intelligence what you have to speak. So by the will of the Saraswati also, he speaks his future. What he speaks over here? There are many other great heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. पता है सारे मरने वाले मेरे लिए. He knows it. सारे मरने वाले मेरे लिए. He's saying himself, there are many great heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are equipped with different kinds of weapons and all experience in military science. He speaks his future. Then, all this while, he has been speaking to Dronacharya about, and also he's giving little push to Drona. So now he's speaking about Bhishma. Because Bhishma is very important. So now he's comparing Bhishma with Bhima. You can recite this. Aparyaptam tad ashmakam अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्मा अभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं त्व इदम् इतेषं बलं भीमाभिरक्षितं. लेकिन our strength is unlimited, अपर्याप्तम, unlimited है. क्यों? क्योंकि कौन लीड कर रहा है? भीष्मा. Their strength is limited, पर्याप्तम. Why? Who's leading it? Bhima. So that now even Bhishma would feel के yes, मुझे भी थोड़ा उसने गिना. He counted me also. He acknowledged me also. You know. So he is speaking about Bhishma also. Actually, aparyaptam has two meanings: limited as well as unlimited. There's many words in English also. They have sometimes dual meaning, right? वैसे aparyaptam, especially in Sanskrit, so there are many such verses which have two meanings. So aparyaptam is unlimited for Bhishma and aparyaptam is limited for Drona. He's telling Drona, see, our strength is limited because Bhishma is the grandfather. He's also having a soft corner. Pandavas is also their grandsons. तो full force में नहीं लड़ेगा, इसलिए तुम लड़ना. ठीक है. At the same time, he's saying अपर्याप्तम because Bhishma is saying, see, वहाँ पे तो भीमा है, उसके पास इतनी शक्ति नहीं है, पर तुम्हारे पास सबसे ज्यादा शक्ति से तुम full force में लड़ना. This is the diplomacy of दुर्योधन. डिप्लोमेसी समझते हो ना? एस जयशंकर जानते हो ना? Diplomats, they deal in how they have to speak. So what was the lesson? What is the lesson? Lesson number 2 क्या था? Being on God's side is million times superior to one's own political diplomacy. अभी इसमें इसने क्या किया? He took everybody's name. He took सबका नाम लिया. भीमा का, अर्जुना का, द्रुपद का, काशीराज का, वीर्यावन का, दृष्टद्युम्न का, भीष्मा का, सबका, इसका, उसका, पार्टी का, सबका नाम लिया. किसका नाम नहीं लिया? कृष्ण का नाम नहीं लिया. जो मेन इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सन था उसका ही नाम नहीं लिया. He did not even consider Krishna as a present in the battle. You know. So that's why I'm saying he took everybody's name. He considered all his material expertise. He had 100 people fighting on his side. There were 5. There are 11 Akshayani Senas. There were 7 Akshayani Senas. He had great fighters on his side, but he did not consider Krishna as a part of the battle, because of which he lost the battle. Because of which that's why people outside the material world, sometimes when devotees, when they look at Krishna Bhakt, when they look at devotees, they feel, who are these devotees? They are like poor people. They keep dancing, jumping, keep going from one place to another place, distributing Bhagavad Gita. They say, दान दे दो. मेरे पास तो सब कुछ है. But one fine day when they get attack, then they say, काम करो, बुलाओ हरे कृष्ण वाले को, थोड़ा कीर्तन का, बताओ लाइफ में क्या करना चाहिए, बताइए. Understand? That is a situation. You may have all material expertise. You may have everything in your place. But if you don't have God with you, then that is of no use. It is like having many zeros without a 1 ahead. You can have 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, but there is no figure ahead of the 0. Having God in your life is putting that 1 ahead of so many zeros that you have. You understand? Otherwise, it's just nil, 0, pura 0. So Duryodhana had everything, but he didn't consider Krishna as even a part of the battle. स्टार्टिंग में ही बताया ना, मैं लास्ट टाइम बताया था, दुर्योधन was saying ना, क्या करूंगा मैं तुम्हारा, मेरा तो उल्टा खर्चा होगा तुम्हें रखने के लिए, क्योंकि कृष्ण ने कहा था मैं लड़ूंगा नहीं, तुम तो लड़ने नहीं वाले हो, तो मैं करूंगा क्या तुम्हारा. What will I do? When Krishna said I will give Arjuna the chance to choose first, so Duryodhana is saying, तो फिर तो बात ही खत्म हो गई. वो तो सेना मांग लेगा, सेना मांगेगा तो तुम्हारा रख के मैं करूंगा क्या, तुम्हें रख के मैं करूंगा क्या, तुम तो लड़ने नहीं वाले हो. बोलते नहीं, मैं उसे चूज करने के लिए बोलूंगा, तुम तो कुछ काम के नहीं हो. सो Duryodhana never considered Krishna worthy. Krishna was always considered by Duryodhana as a gwala or a coward boy. Because Duryodhana came from Krishna came from a Vaishya family, Vaishya family, not from a Kshatriya family. And Kauravas and Pandavas are proper Kshatriyas. They get to rule the kingdom. इससे क्या कुछ काम ही नहीं है. Never considered. Okay, that brings us to the next lesson. Lesson number 3. Where there is Krishna, there is always victory. This is a nice session. This is a nice section, very small and sweet. So where there is Krishna, there is always victory. Okay. So जैसे हम क्रिकेट मैच या कोई और गेम खेलने जाते हैं कभी कभार, स्पेशली क्रिकेट मैच, यू व्हाट हैपेंस बिफोर द क्रिकेट मैच? टॉस. टॉस के पहले क्या होता है? टॉस के पहले कुछ होता है? हाँ, टीम सिलेक्शन के बाद क्या होता है? टॉस के पहले क्या होता है? हाँ, पिच रिपोर्ट. पिच रिपोर्ट होता है ना, कहाँ खेलने वाला है, होम ग्राउंड, फॉरेन ग्राउंड, ऑडियंस क्या है, वानखेड़े स्टेडियम या एडिलेड, वानखेड़े में नॉर्थ ग्राउंड, नॉर्थ स्टैंड, साउथ स्टैंड में गालियाँ पड़ेगी, बेनिफिशियल रहेगा, लोग प्रेशर में रहेंगे, ऑल दीज होता है. सो वैसे ही देयर आर सम साइंस व्हेन द बिफोर द बैटल स्टार्टेड, युद्ध चालू होने के पहले देयर वर सम इंडिकेशंस who is going to win the battle, who's going to win the battle. There were some indications. You can recite this verse after me. Tatha shveter hayryukte mahati syadane sata madhava pandavaschaiva divyau shankhav pradatmatu. So Bhishma Dev blew his conch shell, giving joy to Duryodhana. इससे पहले कभी युद्ध होता है, whenever war happens, before the war there is a blowing of the conch shell, okay, कि युद्ध होने वाला है. ऐसा ही, ऐसा नहीं कि रातों रात घुस गए बिल बना के और बाद में किसी को सो रहे थे उनको मार दिया और चले गए वापस. That is cowardness. That is cowardice. That is not veerta. That is not being bold and really bold, or what do you call, powerful. It is being cowardice. कायर कायर कहते हैं उसे. So in the Vedic times the battle would happen only in the daytime, and that too also before the battle would start there would be blowing of the conch shell. So in the beginning, first the Kauravas blew the conch shell. The conch shell was blown by Bhishma Pitama, and that gave quite a lot of joy. Bhishma also blew the conch shell thinking that के चलो मैं शंख बजा देता हूँ, बट कुछ होने ही नहीं वाला है, दुर्योधन बेटा तुम्हारा, तुम हारने तो वाले ही हो. He knew it because Krishna was there on the opposite side. He knew it. It is not like that Bhishma didn't knew. But when Krishna and Arjuna blew their conch shell, it was Divya Shankhav Pradatmatu. It is not ordinary conch shell. When the conch shell was blown, the sound went not just on the battlefield, it went in upper planetary systems and lower planetary systems, all three planetary systems. The heart of the Kauravas was shattered. Bijli. I think so 2-3 days ago there was very heavy thunderstorm. बहुत सुना आप लोग मुंबई में थे या नहीं? आप लोग स्पेशली जुहू में करीबन दोपहर के 3:30-4 बजे बहुत, आई थिंक सर विसर्जन के दिन था, बहुत बहुत ठंडा, ऐसे कभी मैंने सुना नहीं है. सो वैसा ही जब conch shell पिता ना, then the hearts of the Kauravas were shattered. कभी कभी ऐसे होता है ना, आवाज सुन के आप पता चल जाता है कि भैया नहीं होने का नहीं होगा वैसा. It was like that. So there are different names of the conch shells. Okay, so Krishna and Arjuna blew their conch shell. Krishna's conch shell is called as Panchajanya, Devadatta, Ananta, Vijaya, Yudhishthir, Bhima is Paundra, Nakula is Sughosha, and Sahadeva is Mani Pishpakao. Okay, you can recite this. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadatam Dhananjaya Paundram Dadamo Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodara. So Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta and Bhima, the ferocious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Paundra. So this is the first indication that who is going to win the battle. This is the first indication, the most important one. The blowing of the different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Such an instance is not mentioned on the opposite side. When Bhishma blew the conch shell, ऐसा कुछ instance mention नहीं. But when Krishna and Arjun blew the conch shell, the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra was shattered. This is what Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra कि नहीं हो पाएगा. Apart from these things, there are certain more signs of victory that were there on the side of the Pandavas. Do you know what was special about the signs of victory? और क्या क्या था? लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे लिखा है द चैरियट के ऊपर एक फ्लैग था जिसपे हनुमान जी का चित्र था, पिक्चर ऑफ हनुमान. So at the time Arjuna, the son Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag bearing with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of the Dhritarashtra drawn in the military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. This is there. But what were other signs of victory? There were certain other signs of victory. कुछ पता है? There was a special chariot given to Arjuna. What is a special chariot? Who gave the chariot? Any idea? Arjuna was whose putra? Son of Indra. Indra had given the horses, the bow and the quiver. Chariot was given by Agni Dev. The speciality of the chariot is it can go in any direction. Any direction मतलब सिर्फ आगे पीछे right left नहीं, ऊपर नीचे सब जगह पे, सारे दिशाओं में जा सकता है. It's just not आगे पीछे right left जैसे हमारा गाड़ी जाता है, ऐसा नहीं. It can go up, it can go down, it can go anywhere in any direction that you want. That is speciality of the chariot. Given by Agni Dev, the horses, the quiver, the bows were given by Indra. Pashupatra weapon was given by Shivji. Okay, there was a flag which was on the top of the chariot, which was having the picture of Hanuman, and most importantly, Krishna was present on the side of Arjuna. Krishna is called as Madhav. Madhav means Madhav is the husband of goddess of fortune. Goddess of fortune. Fortune मतलब Bhagya. Goddess of fortune. He is the husband of goddess of fortune. So wherever there is, जैसे यहाँ पे लिखा है ना, माधव पांडवश्चैव, क्या लिखा है? तथा श्वेतेन यदुक्ते महति स्यादने से ताव माधव पांडवश्चैव दिव्या शंख पदात्मतु माधव. माधव लिखा है. कृष्ण के अन्य नाम है और अन्य नाम के पीछे there is a reason behind those names. Madhav नाम के पीछे name is that there is always Aishwarya and victory on that side. Wherever the name of Madhav is, there is always victory on that side. So Krishna personally was present on the side of the Pandavas. So these are the signs of victory. Wherever there is Krishna, there is always victory. Lesson number 3. Now that brings us to lesson number 4, which is a topic for the day. Arjuna's reasons not to fight. Arjuna ने कहा मैं नहीं लड़ूंगा. I will not fight. I shall not fight. Okay. Anybody knows why Arjuna did not want to fight? Like Arjuna came in front of the battle, in between the army, both the armies. He's standing. He's saying, Ratham stapata me achyuta. He's saying, take my rath and take me between both the armies, Krishna. I want to see कौन आया है लड़ने के लिए, कौन यहाँ आया है लड़ने के लिए, मुझे देखना है. So he's saying, why? Who has come to? So that's Krishna takes Ratham stapata me achyuta. Arjuna addresses Krishna as Achyuta. Yeah. Okay, Arjuna addresses Krishna as Achyuta. Achyuta means the one who is infallible from his position. Infallible means though he's a great personality, but he can take up a lower position and he doesn't step back from his words. So he's infallible address because the Lord never falls in his affection to his devotees. So though he's Supreme Lord, he still became the charioteer for his devotee, and thus engaged in service of his friend out of cause did not hesitate to carry out the order of Arjuna. On the battlefield, who was giving the order to move the chariot right and left? Arjuna was giving the order to Krishna. As I mentioned, it is not कि आप एक उसको Google मैप में लोकेशन शेयर कर दो और अपने आप चलाते रहेगा, ऐसा नहीं है. It is about giving kicks, right, left, तब जाके that person is going to be able to drive the chariot. So Krishna was daily taking the kicks of Arjuna. You know, still his supreme position was unchallenged. His supreme position was unchallenged. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. You see, this is Bimla Mangla Thakur. He is blind, but because he's continuously taking the name of Krishna, Krishna is sitting in front of him and listening to him. He's blind. He cannot see the Lord. But because continuously he's taking the name of Krishna, he is sitting in front of Krishna and because Krishna is sitting in front of him. Like once in between the battle, what happened? In the night, Krishna went in the tent of Arjun. भीम ने देख लिया, भीम भी पीछे पीछे चले गए. बोला, आज कुछ स्ट्रैटेजी डिसाइड होने वाली है कल के लिए. लगान देखा है आपने? कल का प्लान ऑफ एक्शन क्या होने वाला है. वैसे तो भीम चले गए, कृष्ण चले गए tent में. Krishna and he saw Krishna when he went in the tent of Arjuna, he saw Arjuna had different kinds of wounds. जगह पे घाव लगे हुए थे, and Krishna would touch the wound and the wound would go away. हमको थोड़ा सोफ्रामाइसिन ऑइंटमेंट लगाना पड़ता है, 3-4 दिन के बाद निकलता ना. वैसे अर्जुन का जिस हाथ लगाने से कृष्ण was just touching the wounds and he was getting cured, and Bhima was seeing all these things. And after that, Bhima entered and he asked Krishna, in the middle of the night, what are you doing here? Krishna said, he's sleeping, he's taking rest. And then he took Bhima and put Bhima's ears, Bhima का जो पैर है, सर है, वो अर्जुन के पैर के पास लगाया है. अर्जुन के पैर पे बहुत बाल थे, हमारे सबके पैरों में बाल होते हैं ऐसे. तो he had many hairs, and from every hair Bhima could hear Krishna, 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 Krishna hai. Krishna, 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 Krishna hai. So he's hearing the name of Krishna. Then बाद में वही सर उठा के, मतलब भीम का सर लेके कान के साथ हाथ पे लगाया, छाती में लगाया, पैर पे लगाया, सब जगह पे he was able to hear the sound of Krishna. Krishna is saying, ये continuously मुझे बुला रहा है, मैं कैसे सो पाऊंगा? Continuously he is calling me. You कैसे नींद आएगा? Non-stop. So that is the relationship of the Lord with the devotee. Arjun was not an ordinary person. भक्तों से में सखा चेती ऐसे नहीं बोल दिया कृष्ण ने. It is not. So many devotees are there. Bhishma is also there. Mahajans are also there. So many people are there. But Krishna is saying Bhakto se me sakha cheti. He's telling Arjuna. He's not telling anyone else. Arjuna is a very great devotee of the Lord. Non-stop. हर एक बॉडी पार्ट में से भी, हर एक बाल में से, अर्जुन के हर एक बॉडी पार्ट में जो बाल है उसमें से कृष्ण का नाम का स्मरण और उच्चारण हो रहा था. कृष्ण सिंह मैं कैसे सोऊंगा, इसलिए मैं आ गया यहाँ पे आधी रात में. That is the relationship that Krishna has with his devotees. So Arjuna is saying, I cannot fight. I will not be able to fight. And he gives 4 reasons not to fight. 5 reasons precisely, 4 reasons in the chapter number 1, and the 5th reason in chapter number 2, beginning of the chapter number 2. Okay, but he gives 4 reasons not to fight. The first reason is that he feeling very compassionate. बहुत दया आ रहा है, कैसे मारूं लोगों को. कभी कभार अच्छे आदमी को, sometimes a person feels compassion, no? How should I kill him? I should not kill people. Killing is not very good. Though my duty is to kill, but still I should not kill. So he's feeling very, very compassionate. Second reason is सबको मार दूंगा तो हा ही किसके साथ करूंगा. You see, people family. But सोचो सब कुछ है, but किसी को enjoy करने के लिए है नहीं. iPhone 15 है, platinum, but nobody will take selfie with. कितना लूंगा अपना selfie? कितना लूंगा नेचर का फोटो? कोई है ही नहीं iPhone 15 के बारे में पूछने के लिए. कोई पूछेगा भी नहीं मेरे को, इतना iPhone 15 लिया, वाह, कोई है ही नहीं सब पूछने के लिए. सबको तो मार दूंगा. तो पूरा राज्य जीत भी लिया, if I have the full kingdom with me, but who will I enjoy with? Who will I enjoy with? Will I be sitting on my throne alone and there is nobody around? Just I am there. So who will I enjoy it? So Arjuna is saying, who will I enjoy it? Third reason is if I kill people, I will get sin. पाप लगेगा मुझे. You are telling me to kill Dronacharya. You are telling me to kill Bhishma Pitama. You are Madhusudan. Madhu means the killer of the demon Madhu. And you are making me Dronasudan, Bhishma Sudan. अच्छा है क्या? Will you kill your teacher Sandipani? Will you kill your grandfather Uttana? मतलब, you will not do that. But you are telling me to do that, Krishna. This is not very good. Arjuna is telling. पाप लगेगा मेरे को. And the last one is कि सबको मार दूंगा. If I kill the men, then the family tradition will be destroyed. There will be destruction in dynasty. Men will be killed. Family traditions will stop. Irreligion will increase. Women will be unprotected. They will be exploited. There will be unwanted progeny. And for all these things, I will be blamed. So I don't want to fight. You can recite this. Sanjaya Vacha. Evam Yukta Arjuna Shankhe. Rato Pashta Upavrisha. Vishrija Sharam Chapam. शोक संवेग्न मानसा. अर्जुन शोक मना रहे हैं. जैसे फर्स्ट चैप्टर का नाम है अर्जुन विषाद योगा. विषाद मतलब शोक मनाना, अपसेट हो जाना, दुख मनाना. सो इज सेइंग शोक मना. क्यों शोक मना रहा है? ही सेइंग रतोपाशा उपाविशा. ही सेइंग एवं युक्त अर्जुन शांके रतोपाशा उपाविशा विषजा शरम चापम शोक संवेग्न मानसा. Okay, I don't want to fight. Sanjay is saying only a kind and soft-hearted and a non-violent person like Arjuna is fit to receive self-knowledge. So he said these things and he kept down his bow and arrow. Arjuna is saying, I will not fight. शांत बच चुका है, सब कुछ हो चुका है. बट ये सुन के धृतराष्ट्र बहुत खुश हो गए. क्यों? क्योंकि अर्जुन भागने वाला है वहां से. और अर्जुन भाग जाएगा तो कौन जीतेगा? रिटायर्ड हर्ट गॉन बैक. कौन जीतेगा? मेरे बेटे जीत जाएंगे, मेरे बेटे जीत जाएंगे, तो मुझे यहाँ से उठना नहीं पड़ेगा. काम खत्म हो गया. धृतराष्ट्र इज वेरी वेरी हैप्पी. अभी अर्जुन के लिए, फॉर अर्जुन टू कीप डाउन द बो एंड एरो इज अ वेरी बिग थिंग. इट इज नॉट कि हम ही इज जैसे मैंने कहा, ही इज नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन. ओके, like during the battle of Kurukshetra, when Karna was fighting very heavily with Yudhishthira, Yudhishthira got injured and Yudhishthira was taken back to the tent. Okay, Arjuna was given a message that Yudhishthira is injured and Yudhishthira has gone back for some treatment. Arjuna came to meet Yudhishthira. On seeing Arjuna in the tent, Yudhishthira asked Arjuna, "How come you are here? Did you run away? Did you get scared?" Arjuna is saying, if you wouldn't have been my brother, I would have killed you right now. Okay, what kind of a man you are? Your wife was insulted. You gambled your wife, and you're telling me I ran away. He put his arrow and he put it pointed against Yudhishthira. Krishna is like, hold on. Because Yudhishthira told Arjuna that, such a coward you are, you should throw away your bow. And hearing this statement, Arjuna put out his bow and he pointed towards Yudhishthira. You're telling me to throw away my bow. And the same Arjuna has put down his bow now. Just imagine. उसके भाई ने इतना सा कुछ बोल दिया तो उसके अगेंस्ट तीर लगा दिया और वो खुद आज उस मन से उसने बाण नीचे रख दिया. Just imagine what he must be going through, that he kept his bow down. He is not an ordinary person. It is not, Arjun is not an ordinary personality. So it's a very big thing for Arjuna to keep down the bow. So we may also face many situations in our life, but our situation is never bigger than the situation of Arjuna. Never. None of us will ever get a chance to kill our grandfather. Will you get a chance? None of us will ever get a chance to kill our teacher. मिट्टी का प्रोफेसर हो, एनएम का हो, या किसी स्कूल कॉलेज का हो. Okay? Will never be told, जा मार दे से. भले 35 के बाद 34 दे दिया तो भी आप मार नहीं पाएंगे उसे. But Arjuna was to fight against his teacher, Dronacharya, who he was favorite of. Arjuna was supposed to fight against Karna. Arjuna was supposed to fight against many of his relatives. and he knew that he's going to lose all of them. So it is a very it's not a very easy situation. It was a very difficult situation for Arjun. But at this point, Arjuna is rejected. He has put down his bow. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. Now, what does he do is very, very important. And that's important for us also because we will also face such situations in our lives. 110%. Because this material world is dukhalayam ashashvatam. Sukhalayam nahi hai. Sukhalayam shashvatam nahi hai. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. ठीक है, तो ऐसा कोई है ही नहीं जिसको दुख नहीं मिलेगा, सबको मिलेगा. ठीक है, but in that how we live like Arjun is very important. So Arjuna then what does he do? He takes help of his what does Arjun do then? So this is the verse that we just saw right now. So the previous chapter, chapter number 1, Sanjaya concluded that Arjuna was not inclined to fight. That made Dhritarashtra joyful that Pandavas would be renouncing the kingdom. In this chapter, that is chapter number 2, seeing Dhritarashtra hopeful of not losing the kingdom for his sons, he began to describe how Krishna inspires. Sanjaya begins to mention that how Krishna inspires Arjuna to fight. So Sanjaya is saying, hold on, hold on. I think so Krishna is now going to speak to Arjuna. He's going to inspire him to fight. So the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita has this acronym. It is called as Gita. G stands for absolute need for a teacher or a spiritual guide. I stands for identity. T stands for our duties, two duties. And A stands for Atmaram. So, Atmaram, super soul. So, this is the situation of Arjuna. Arjuna is rejected. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. And then Krishna is speaking for the first time in the second chapter. First time. अभी तक 46 वर्सेस हो गए 1.46 ठीक है 46 वर्सेस हो गए and then 47th verse is the first verse of the second chapter and then after 47 verses Krishna is going to speak for the first time पहली बार बोलेंगे. So I'll stop here. Any questions? प्रश्न है because अभी second chapter आ जाएगा. Second chapter I'll continue next Saturday. Second chapter is very big, so I will just cover certain sections. There's certain specific sections in second chapter, so that will cover, and then we'll move to the third chapter. But are there any questions that you have on whatever we discussed? कोई क्वेश्चन है आपको? कुछ कह रहे थे आप, शेयर कीजिए मेरे साथ. Success is a decision. Definition of success. आप आए थे सेमिनार में? Any questions? सवाल है? Yes.
कि अर्जुन ने बोला था कि भाई इसको मैं मार के तो पाप बताऊंगा मतलब मैं भी पाप करूंगा तो कृष्णा जी ने क्या रिप्लाई दिया?
So now the reasons that Arjuna gives not to fight, Krishna replies to each one of them in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Of course, he has to answer his questions. Why not? So Arjuna is giving reasons here. ये reasons काफी practical लगते हैं ना? These reasons sounds very practical. They don't sound very absurd. Okay, I am feeling compassionate not to fight. A good person, a gentleman will always be compassionate. If I fight, who will I enjoy with? Sounds practical. किसी का enjoy करूँगा. If I fight, I'm seeing your hand. Wait. If I fight, then who will I will get sin. you know. And then if I fight, then there'll be the family traditions will be destroyed, which is so true. Men will be killed, women will be not protected, there'll be unwanted progeny, culture will not be passed on. There are very logical reasons. To this, Krishna does give answer. Yes, sir.
So you said this seminar about that Krishna is one of the roots of Vishnu. So I wanted to know about
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that Krishna is one of the in seminar.
in seminar.
Which seminar?
The two seminars are in
Huh.
Secret of Success.
I said Vishnu is an avatar of Krishna. I said Vishnu is an avatar of Krishna.
In the Dashavatars.
Huh. Dashaavatar to comes from Mahavishnu. Dashaavatar comes from Mahavishnu comes from Krishna. दशावतार में आप दशावतार पढ़ेंगे तो कृष्ण यहाँ पे दिखेगी, आपको दिखेगा कृष्ण दशावतार में. There is Matsya, there is Meena, there is Matsya, there is Kurma, there is Narsimha, there is Varaha, there is a Vamana, there is a Parshuram, there is Balram, there is Rama, and then there is Kalki. 10. Huh? Buddha, sorry, Buddha is also there. I just mixed two things here. There are 10. Where is Krishna? There is no Krishna in that. Krishna is the source of all these.
What are the Vedic injunctions? Like there were 6
Fixing.
injunctions.
Which injunctions?
When Arjuna said like there will be some sinful reaction to what I do by killing the relative. So someone said like there will be 6 injunctions.
No, so those injunctions are mentioned in there, wherein it says that if there are 6 kind of activities which are done, then a person should be killed. One amongst them is somebody who kidnaps somebody's wife, somebody who loots somebody's wealth, somebody who gives a poison, somebody who sets house on fire. ऐसे करके 6 चीजें बताई गई है. अगर ये 6 चीजें करते हैं, then one should be killed for that. One should not be left pardoned for that. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, bro.
I saw one. This is regarding that up to 14 years child becomes a simple activity.
No, for every activity that you do, even if you are not aware about it, even if you are ignorant about that, still you get reaction for it. Everything that you do. Where you read, there is no age. There is no age. Like there can be like for example, this fan is there. A small child comes, 5-year-old child comes, or 2-year-old child comes. Doesn't know what a fan is. Just first time sees a fan, puts a hand in the fan. Will the fan say 2-year-old, forgive him? It'll cut, right? So, similarly, karma will give its response to the action that you've done, whether you're in knowledge or not. So yeah, that's how it is. So if karma will give its own reaction. Okay. Any questions related to the topic? Yes.
अर्जुन जो भी बातें कह रहा है
हाँ
वो अपनी जगह पे सही है.
हाँ
भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने उन्हें गीता समझाई कि आप माया सब माया में कोई नहीं है, तो ऐसे ही मैंने बोला. फिर अर्जुन लड़ क्यों रहा है, क्यों मार रहा है?
क्यों?
वो भी अपनी चीजें नहीं छोड़ सकता क्या?
हाँ क्यों लड़
वो भी राज्य के लिए लड़ रहा है,
किसके लिए लड़
अपने बदले के लिए लड़ रहा है.
नहीं वो तो नहीं लड़ना चाहता ना. अभी बोल रहा है मुझे लड़ना नहीं है.
भगवान ने तैयार किया ना लड़ने के लिए कि लड़ो.
हाँ लड़ने के लिए तैयार किया. बाद में बोल रहा ना मत लड़ो, मैं मुझे लड़ना नहीं है. अभी वापस तैयार करेंगे उस लड़ने के लिए.
तैयार करेंगे लड़ने
हाँ.
के लिए, लेकिन लड़ने के लिए तैयार करना भी क्यों है?
तो लड़ने के लिए तैयार क्यों कर रहे हैं भगवान ऐसे?
हाँ,
क्योंकि धर्म को स्थापित करना ना. ही वांट्स टू फिनिश अधर्म ना. धर्म स्थापित करने के लिए कृष्ण कह रहे हैं मैं नहीं लड़ूंगा. आई विल यूज मतलब आई विल मेक यू एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट टू फाइट. आई वांट टू सेट थिंग्स राइट. मतलब जो अभी आपने एक मशीन बनाई, मशीन में कुछ मैल फंक्शनिंग हो गया, वो मैल फंक्शनिंग को सेटअप करने के लिए आपने टीम लगा दी, भैया सब कुछ सेटअप कर दो ठीक ठाक. एनी क्वेश्चंस यू हैव? डोंट स्पीक इन बिटवीन. सो मशीन को ठीक करने के लिए आपने 2 बंदे लगा दिए, ठीक है, इसको ठीक ठाक कर दो ताकि वापस फंक्शन कर सके. आप बोल रहे हैं मशीन ठीक करनी ही क्यों है?
अर्जुन कह रहा है कि इसके बाद भी तो अधर्म फैलेगा, महिलाओं के साथ गलत.
नहीं, सो या सो वही दैट रीजन कृष्ण गिव्स अहेड कि नहीं फैलेगा. अगर युधिष्ठिर जैसा राजा होगा तो वो औरतों को प्रोटेक्ट करेगा, ही विल प्रोटेक्ट द वुमेन. पर अगर दुर्योधन जैसा राजा होगा तो भले ही सारे पुरुष बैठे हो तो भी वो औरत को इंसल्ट करेगा. तो मैं चाहता हूं कि युधिष्ठिर बैठे और दुर्योधन ना बैठे. समझे? दुर्योधन insulted a woman even when all the men, his husbands were also present. Husband सारे 5 क्या कहते हैं 5 पति प्रेजेंट थे तो भी the woman was insulted. That is the king like Duryodhan. Okay, but a king like Yudhishthir, even if the women become widow, he will protect them as their mother. That is the power of Yudhishthir because he is Dharmaraj. That is why I want Yudhishthir to sit on the throne. समझे? हर एक रीजन के पीछे कृष्ण गिव्स अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्ग्यूमेंट which is much more superior. So Krishna is talking from, Arjuna is talking from Dharma Shastra. Duryodhana is fighting from Artha Shastra. Arjuna is fighting from Dharma Shastra. Sorry, Krishna, Duryodhana is fighting from Artha Shastra. Arjuna is talking from Karma Shastra, and Krishna is talking about Dharma Shastra, which is above all of them. Dharma Shastra prevails everything else. Of course, धर्म शास्त्र अपनाना चाहिए, बट ऑल्सो देखते हुए कि क्या हमारा धर्म है. हमें धर्म को हाथ में लेना है, बट पता होते हुए कि हमारा क्या ड्यूटी है. ओके, इफ यू आर नॉट अ सोल्जर एंड इफ यू आर नॉट अ पुलिस वाला, बट यू बिहेव लाइक अ पुलिस वाला, देन यू आर नॉट सपोज्ड टू डू दैट. सो यू हैव टू नो योर ड्यूटी, व्हाट योर ड्यूटी इज. Arjuna was a Kshatriya. Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens and spread dharma. So he is reminding him his duties. That is how it is. Okay. कुछ क्वेश्चन है आपको पीछे? लास्ट.
मतलब जो 8वें अवतार थे वो विष्णु भगवान.
आप अवतार के बारे में मत पूछिए, जो टॉपिक डिस्कस चल रहा है उसके बारे में पूछिए, बिकॉज दिस रिलेटेड टू टॉपिक यू आस्क मी. 8वें अवतार कृष्ण नहीं थे. 8वें अवतार कृष्ण नहीं थे. कृष्ण अवतार है ही नहीं, वही बता रहा हूँ. आप लास्ट संडे नहीं आए, लास्ट सैटरडे नहीं आए थे. हाँ, तो मैंने उसको डिटेल में बताया था. कृष्ण इज नॉट एन अवतार. कृष्ण इज ओरिजिनल सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉड. उसको मैंने बहुत डिटेल में बताया, कैसे व्यासदेव, कैसे ब्रह्मा, सब लोग प्रूफ बताते हैं कृष्ण है स्वयं भगवान. और कैसे कृष्ण के पद चिन्हों पे 16 साइंस है, विच इज ओनली ऑन देयर ऑन द सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉड. Whereas some of other personalities like Rama, Vamana, Buddha, Balrama or Narasimha have lesser than 16 signs. So these are indications that there are many facts and figures to that. वो सारी चीजें मैंने डिटेल में लास्ट सैटरडे बताई थी. So Krishna is original supreme personality. इते चमशा कला पुरुषा कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं. व्यासदेव स्वयं भगवान कृष्णस्तु. So अगर आप श्रीमद् भागवतम पढ़ेंगे, फर्स्ट कैंटो चैप्टर नंबर 3, व्यासदेव speaks about different incarnations. आपको तो सिर्फ 10 अवतार के बारे में बात पता है. व्यासदेव speaks about more than 20 incarnations in Bhagavatam. More than 20 incarnations in Bhagavatam. And then he is saying कि ये सारे parts and parcels है, but स्वयं भगवान कृष्ण तुम हो. ठीक है? तो कृष्ण is not an avatar. Yes.
मतलब कृष्ण जी है, incarnation नहीं है.
नहीं है. नहीं है. आप 6 opulences लगाइए ना कृष्ण जी को, विष्णु जी को, बताइए लगता है क्या सारे 6? क्या गया चैप्टर नंबर 1. Put these 6 opulences against Vishnu. Vishnu is renunciation. कभी विष्णु को देखा है किसी के पैर दबाते हुए? हाँ, वैराग्य है. भाई कृष्ण में वैराग्य है. सुदामा जी जब द्वारका आए थे तो कृष्ण ने सुदामा के पांव धोए थे. जब अश्वमेध यज्ञ हुई थी तब कृष्ण जी ने शू स्टॉल का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लिया था. शू स्टॉल है ना हमारे ऐसा. ठीक है, तो विष्णु जी में है रिनंसिएशन. और famous? Is Vishnu more famous or Krishna more famous? What do you feel? Who you hear about more? Krishna.
भी कहा था कि विष्णु भगवान को विष्णु भगवान के मंदिर
अभी ये इसकी बात कर रहा हूँ मैं आप. सो दिस इज फ्रॉम द शास्त्र. विष्णु पुराण से बताया गया है. ऐश्वर्य से समाग्र से हमने देखा ना सीक्रेट सक्सेस सेमिनार में. 6 opulences of the supreme lord. ओके, ये कौन सी पुराण में है? विष्णु पुराण में. कृष्ण 6 opulences of the supreme lord. सो फेम है, वेल्थ कह सकते हैं. हाँ वेल्थ है. वैकुंठ लोक में राजा की तरह बैठते हैं, बहुत ऐश्वर्य है, सब कुछ है. बट फेम, रिनंसिएशन, नॉलेज, ज्ञान, गीता खुद कृष्ण ने कही, विष्णु ने तो नहीं की. खुद कृष्ण ने गीता कही. और कृष्ण जब गीता कह रहे हैं तब व्यासदेव क्या कहते हैं? कंपेयर किसने की? व्यासदेव. तो व्यासदेव क्या कहते हैं? श्री भगवान उवाच. ही डजंट से श्री कृष्ण उवाच. He says Arjuna uvacha, Dhritarashtra uvacha, Sanjay uvacha. But when Krishna is speaking, he says Bhagwan uvacha. Bhagwan is Bhagwan. Bhaga and Wan. आप भी देख रहे हो ना पीछे? या कोई क्वेश्चन आंसर करता है? It answers your question also. Bhagwan. He doesn't say Shri Krishna uvacha. He could have said, no? Krishna uvacha. जैसे he is saying about, जैसे आप भागवतम पढ़ोगे तो उसमें लिखा है श्री शुक उवाचा, श्री सुत उवाचा, श्री राजा उवाचा, ऐसे लिखा होता है. But whenever Krishna is speaking, Vyasdev is saying Bhagwan uvacha. No doubt that who is Bhagwan. No doubt. He doesn't create any doubt in our mind. So accept Vyasdev. Don't accept me, accept Vyasdev. I'm speaking what Vyasdev is saying. Vyasdev is saying Chete Chamsha Kala Pumsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He's not saying Vishnu to Bhagavan Swayam. He's not saying Balram to Bhagavan Swayam. He's not saying Rama to Bhagavan Swayam. He's saying Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And then 64 qualities, when you're speaking about qualities also, when you speak about qualities also, any pastimes of Vishnu that you remember? Some pastimes, who is famous for his pastimes? Krishna is famous. Then we speak about yeah. So 4 qualities unique. Which ones? So Leela Madhurya, you get to know more about, you hear more pastimes in Leela about Krishna. जैसे मैंने कहा लीला स्तरी, अभी भी आप वृंदावन जाओगे, मथुरा जाओगे, बहुत सारे pastimes हैं जहाँ पे सिर्फ अपने कृष्ण के pastimes सुनने में. द्वारका जाओगे. Then there is भक्त माधुर्य. ये तो विष्णु में है ही नहीं. है भक्त माधुर्य, भक्त वात्सल्य. भक्त वात्सल्य जो वर्ड है, that is the word for Krishna. भक्त वात्सल्य, कि वो भक्त के लिए कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. For his devotee, he can do anything. It's not there in Vishnu. Venu Madhurya, ये तो है ही नहीं. Vishnu doesn't hold a Venu. He holds Shabd Chakra Gada Padma. He doesn't have a flute. What is so unique about the flute? कोई बोलेगा ये flute ही है ना. What is so unique? It is unique. When Krishna plays the flute, everybody gets attracted. Everybody gets attracted because Krishna is playing the flute. And Rupa Madhurya, most beautiful form. You don't see a form which is more beautiful than the form of Krishna. Okay, this is. इसलिए because of so much of we hear so many things ना for so many years, हमारे सिस्टम में उसको एरेज करके वापस नया फिट करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. इसलिए जो पाश्चात्य देश में लोग रहते हैं ना, उनके लिए बहुत इजी है समझना. उनको बोलेंगे साई बाबा कृष्ण तो साई बाबा कृष्ण, बोले सदगुरु कृष्ण तो सदगुरु कृष्ण है. समझ आया है? और हमारे लिए समझना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, मतलब इतना खिचड़ी बन गया है, पता ही नहीं चलता है कि पूरा पूरा मिटा मिटा के फिर नया फिट करना पड़ता है उसको, ऐसा है। सो इट इज सो इजी फॉर पीपल बिकॉज क्लीन स्लेट है ना, पूरा बोर्ड साफ है, इस पे लिखोगे तो क्लियरली दिखेगा, इस पे पूरा भरा होगा, फिर पूरा साफ करके फिर लिखना पड़ेगा। इट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद अस इन इंडिया एज ऑफ नाउ, इतना खिचड़ी बन गया। और नाउ तो अभी सोशल मीडिया के साथ इतने सारे स्पीकर, इतने सारे गुरु, ये गुरु वो गुरु ये गुरु, सब फॉलोअर्स के हिसाब से, जो पढ़ते भी नहीं है शास्त्र।
आजकल तो शास्त्रों में भी वो प्रश्न मात्र चिन्ह लगा दिया है कि सही कहाँ मिल रहा है, ये लोगों ने थोड़े वो कर दिए, बीच में अपनी अपनी चीजें निपटा दी है।
हाँ, आप पढ़ेंगे और आपके अंदर परिवर्तन आएगा तो आपको ऑटोमेटिकली पता चल जाएगा, सामने वाले में परिवर्तन नहीं आया तो आपको भी पता चल जाएगा। ओके, क्वेश्चन, विच क्वेश्चन? हाँ बोलिए।
ये भगवत गीता इतने सालों से चली आ रही है, हाँ, तो क्या पता किसी ने बीच में कुछ आगे पीछे या
अपनी चीजें डाल दी।
हाँ हाँ, तो क्या
हुआ हो, समझो ये इतने सालों से चली आ रही है, फिर किसी ने पास में कुछ आगे पीछे किया होगा, कुछ ऐड या लेस किया हो।
हिंदी है ना ये, यू हैव इंग्लिश कॉपी राइट? हाँ, वेरी वेरी वैलिड क्वेश्चन, इसलिए पहले पढ़ो, सब कुछ दिया है इस बुक में, एवरीथिंग इज मेंशन्ड इन दिस बुक। सो ये प्रभुपाद की गीता है, ओके। प्रभुपाद की गीता में पहले एक प्रीफेस दिया हुआ है, प्रीफेस, ओके। प्रीफेस में लिखा हुआ है, he says over here that it is becoming more and more interesting to the older generation. He's saying in Los Angeles, Prabhupada likhte hai, many fathers and mothers used to come to see me to express their feelings of gratitude for my leading the Krishna conscious movement throughout the entire world. Some of them said that it is greatly fortunate for the Americans that I have started Krishna conscious movement in America. But actually, the original father of this movement is Lord Krishna himself, since it was started a very long time ago, but is coming down to human society by disciplic succession. Are you following? If I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally, but it is due to my spiritual master. And then he mentions the spiritual master's name. Okay, and then he says, right before my presentation, he mentions there are many editions of the Bhagavad Gita in the market, but they do not speak the spirit of the Gita. I'm just finding that word. Mark nahi kiya. I have marked it in my book. I can carry it. So in the preface of the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada mentions that there are many editions of the Bhagavad Gita in the market. But why am I writing this edition? He mentions that very clearly. Because there are so many editions of the Gita, they don't speak the spirit of the Gita. Spirit of the Gita is what Krishna is trying to speak exactly. That is why he says, hence I name the book Bhagavad Gita as it is. I don't name the book Bhagavad Gita only and then I speak what मैंने वो मेंशन किया जो मैं चाहता हूँ मैं करना. It's not about that. That is why when people read this edition of the Gita, which is without the author being there also, people have started wearing sari, women have started wearing saris in Western countries, men have started wearing dhoti kurta, people have started to take vegetarianism in their practice, and they started to take up even Krishna Bhakti in their practice. Okay? That means there is transformation. Okay, so much so that when this edition is there out in the market, that it has become a syllabus in the Western countries, in some of the universities. So there are many editions in the market. Okay, but you should refer to one which is coming down in the sampradaya. Okay, so that, as I had mentioned, that there are 4 sampradayas. Or last time I mentioned किया था, आपको दिखाया हुआ था that there are 4 sampradayas. Okay, every genuine sampradaya will mention a disciplic succession. Okay, and this is the disciplic succession of Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. So that mentions coming right from Krishna to Brahma to That is how it's coming down in reciprocal succession. So if you read the preface, if you read the introduction, Prabhupada gives acknowledgement to the previous acharyas that from whose commentary he is taking references. Okay, and that is how it is coming down in reciprocal succession. That is how it is there in front of you. That is one. Another is अभी जब आप पर्सनली खुद पढ़ते हो तो आपके अंदर में within you is there a transformation? Is there a positive transformation within you? If there is a positive transformation within you, then you accept it. Then you accept it. But before that, you read it. You cannot say that will does this have without. You cannot make an assumption before reading it. First, you read it, and then you see the transformation. Because I have read a few editions. When I came across this edition, there was a transformation. It's not that there was this transformation, but there was a transformation. Transformation as a human being. Okay, transformation in your consciousness, transformation in your heart. Okay, so you have to read to understand. And because of so much of social media, because of so much of matter available now, just in our hand, of course, we get very distracted. We get distracted very easily. We don't know what we are supposed to do. But then we also have to see where most of the people are getting benefited. है ना? है ना? कौन सी कॉलेज में सबसे ज्यादा एडमिशन लोग लेके अच्छी प्लेसमेंट पाते हैं, ये तो समझ सकते हैं ना हम. वैसे कौन सी भगवत गीता पढ़ के लोग भक्त एक्चुअली बनते हैं. अगर आप गीता पढ़ लो, अगर आप ये भी समझ लो कि कृष्ण भगवान है और उसके भक्त ना बनो, तो गीता पढ़ के मतलब क्या है? Because there are many writers who say that don't surrender to Krishna, you surrender to the Krishna which is within you. मतलब तुम ही भगवान हो, अपने आप को सरेंडर करो. That is not mentioned anywhere. Krishna says, माम अनुस्मर युद्ध च, you remember me and fight. माम एकम शरणम वच, मेरे शरण में आओ. He doesn't say तुम्हारे शरण में जाओ तुम. Arjuna was trying to take shelter of himself. He didn't want to take the opinion of Krishna. He wanted to just leave the battle and go away. That is why he was so Kashamvigna Manasa. He was not happy. Then he takes guidance from Krishna. So, you may read the Bhagavad Gita, any other edition of the Gita, but if that doesn't bring transformation within you to develop any devotion for Krishna, then what's the use? There are many authors outside, professional authors there. There are many professional authors who have written on the Bhagavad Gita, but they have no devotion for Krishna. So you have to read, and then you have to know more. Once in America, somebody asked Swami Prabhupada, Swamiji, many people come from India, and many sadhus, they come from India and they say, I am God. So what do you say? Who are you? They asked, So Swami Prabhupada said, I am just a servant of God. Then he says, no, I'm not even servant of God. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of God. That's my position. And that's the position of any devotee. He will never say that I am God. Okay. But the foolish Mayavadis, they say, you don't have to surrender to Krishna, you have to surrender to Krishna within you. That means they make you God. कि तुम थोड़ा स्पिरिचुअलिटी करोगे तो तुम ही स्वयं भगवान बन जाओगे. बन सकते हो. ऐश्वर्य, समग्रस्य, वीर्यस्य, रिनंसिएशन हो सकता है आप में. So part is part and full is full. Part will always remain part. Part can never get mixed into full and become full. But the part, when put into the full machine, can have its full utility. Understand? That's the position. So, to answer your question, they could have spoken for so many years, okay, and there could have been a dilution. But yes, Krishna mentions the 4th chapter, yes, the chain was broken, and that is why he's speaking to Arjuna again. And since then, it is coming down in the subject succession, which is being passed on to us. But Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to even Vivashwan. Vivashwan is sun god. That is in the beginning. In the beginning. But he's again speaking to Arjuna. He's saying that this link was broken. And that is why I'm speaking to you, Arjuna, again. That is 5,000 years back. So we are referring to the conversation 5,000 years ago. But how is coming down in reciprocal succession 5,000 years ago? Why people are still writing about? Why is it so popular after 5,000 years? Because it is having some impact in your life, right? Otherwise, which book is popular even after 5,000 years? Any book which is popular even after 5,000 years? Bhagavad Gita is popular even after 5,000 years. Most commented book. There are more than 800 commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita. But you have to refer to the bona fide commentary. Commentary coming down in reciprocal succession. If you refer to any other commentary, what will happen? It will take you there, which is nowhere. That will happen. So yeah, that answers the question. Okay. Okay, so I stop here. We'll have Prashad. I think so. We can have Prashad down. So, बात कर लिया हमने. Stop this.